Mr. Raina, thank you so much for joining us today here. My first question is about global economic slowdown is a topic that is much discussed these days, but India doesn't seem to follow that pattern. That being said, how do you see the future of marketing spending in India? In this year, and in the future as well.
I think you said it right. Although globally the countries are suffering on account of inflation and slowdown in growth, so to say, but India is definitely bucking the trend and going the other on the other side. Now, marketing spend is it's got a direct correlation with the growth in the incomes, growth in the spending power of the people. So therefore, because India's growth is happening, it is growing at a faster pace. So marketing spends are definitely going to go up, right? Now, of course, the where it will be spent will change. The mix is likely to change because now I think more and more people want to use digital marketing platforms rather than use the traditional platforms. The mix might get altered a bit, but I think in terms of the total expenditure, it is definitely going to go up.
We are living in an age of next generation tech. Generative AI is like one of the most. It's that this term is basically trending everywhere. Instagram, Twitter, everywhere. Uh, the advent of generative AI. Do you think the role of the CMOs, the role of the marketer, will be altered, will be diminished? Your views on that?
I don't think it will be diminished. It will be, if anything, it's just that we will have to, go beyond what we are doing every day today. I was just talking about that these changes keep taking place, right? Now, how closely you monitor a change, or how much away from it you're monitoring it, will determine whether the change is going to hit you quickly, suddenly, or it will happen over time. Because the more closely you monitor it, the change is slower. And when the change is slower, you are able to make adjustments to the new realities that are going to hit you. But if you're not monitoring that, and if you suddenly one day you see this AI thing hitting you, then you will completely become obsolete. You will not have any place to really go to. But people who would have really changed themselves, understood technology, for example, technology understanding is going to be critical for the new marketers, right? If they don't do that on a regular basis, those people will will go out of business. But people who understand technology and keep up with and cope up with it will not face a problem.
The marketing landscape in India is changing rapidly, and not just India, globally. It's growing at a very rapid pace. It's changing at a very rapid pace. What are the three top things that keep you awake at night as a marketer, as a person who wants to market his brand?
I don't know whether it keeps me awake. I get a good sleep, by the way. So,
Okay, good for you.
and the reason for that is, I find my insights with the real people, right?
Okay.
And use technology and marketing activities to really work on those insights. Because if you're stuck with your computer for right from insight gathering to action, and it's all happening on your desktop, then you are in serious trouble. Because marketing is to be done with the people. Like when you said landscape is changing, the basic principles remain the same. How you do it might change, but what needs to be done will be based on why people are doing things in a certain way. So therefore, what keeps me awake maybe in the night for a longer period is that I do a lot of research on consumer behaviors, understanding how the behaviors are changing with time, and how they are adopting new methods and new technologies, and choosing new products and asking for newer things. So that's something that is very important to do on an ongoing basis. But for that, you also have to go and meet people and listen to people, and then use those insights to really do whatever you want to do with it.
Okay. Now this is something that. So the next question is something that I really want to ask you, and since I handle consumer tech at BW, so Lava is competing with the Oppos and the Vivos and the OnePluses, and one day the Apples and the Samsungs. I want to understand what's your marketing strategy, your core marketing strategy to compete with giants like these.
So actually, I am a very strong believer in uh, one truth which all researchers tell you, but very little is done about it, which is the word of mouth marketing, right? So word of mouth has one beauty, is that it doesn't cost much, and it is the most effective marketing tool ever, right? You pick up marketing books of any period, pick up any research, even today, when so much technology is happening, you will still find that word of mouth still stays on top in terms of the marketing activities. So purely from the, although there are many other things that we will do on, let's say, product and other things, customer service, etc., which is the core of the proposition, but on the marketing front, uh, we will be working a lot on creating word of mouth, and that's because one thing which is unique to us and others do not have is that we are an Indian company, and there's a very strong sentiment for Indian companies right now. Like, that's why we've been working on this campaign for about 4 or 5 years, which is proudly Indian campaign. So that's at a marketing level, at a brand level, that's one clear differentiator that we have against our competitors, and we built it. It's not something that just happened. We had to build it over time, and today proudly Indian and Lava are closely associated, because all else being equal, product is equal, service is equal, everything is equal. Logically, you will say, okay, everything is equal, but then the choice is made on the basis of the emotional connect that you build with the consumers, and that's where we are working out to say, how can we build more and more strong connect with our consumers. So that will be the key differentiator for us.
The Lava Agni 2 is a great phone, a great benchmark result. So, really hopeful for the future for the brand. Last question: what would be the advice, key advice or key suggestions that you would give to future upcoming marketers?
Two things. One is, uh, while digital is technology is going to be in use a lot, but meet customers, listen to customers, right? That's very, very important, I would say, at any period of time. Second is, don't get bogged down by the jargons that you hear, right? Rather, just try and simplify everything, because now there are more jargons being used, and therefore people are getting confused. First of all, it takes them a lot of time to even learn the jargon, right? And then to implement it. I mean, it's a very long process in today's world, that because every other jargon is coming every other day. So what we need to do is simplify in very simple terms. If you're not from marketing, I want to tell you something which is about marketing without using a jargon. How can I simplistically be able to tell you? Because if you can do that, then eventually you will also be able to talk to customers in that same language. The customers are not marketing wizards, they are normal people, right? And if you can think in their terms, in their terminologies, it will become better and easier for you to market to them.
All right. One last question. This can also be off the record, but I really want to understand. So, Nothing has done something very wonderful with their product. Uh, the LED back panel, the monochrome UI. Uh, it might be a gimmick, but it's working. And brands like Infinix are blatantly copying it, be it the LED light, be it the interface. Will Lava take the same route, or will Lava stick to originality?
See, there's no fixed thing here. There's actually what we work a little differently, in the sense that our focus is primarily on making sure what happens to the consumer's usage of the phone after they have purchased it, because that experience, because a smartphone is something that's the first thing that you see in the morning and the last thing that you see in the night, right? So, and you engage with it so much that every small trouble at any point in time is going to get accumulated in your head, and at some point in time you're going to say whether you like the brand or you don't like the brand, depending on the cumulative experience of so many, let's say, months of usage, right? So our complete focus is on making sure that we give great experience to customers. So our structures, our processes, our systems are all now getting built around making sure that customers get the great experience, whether it is security, whether it is updates, whether it is upgrades, whether it is the design of the phone. So all of that is being worked on, right? And therefore we avoid doing any superficial differentiation, right? We would love to do deeper differentiation than do a superficial differentiation. Superficial differentiations are easily copyable, like you just yourself mentioned. If one person does, another person can easily do it, right? But deeper differentiations are very difficult to do. By the time somebody wants to copy us, you would be 3-4 years ahead of them.
Right. So thank you so much for chatting with us and
Thank you
sharing
very
your
much.
thoughts.
Thank you very
Pleasure
much.
chatting with you.
Nice meeting you. Bye.